Over the past week, we have seen, of course, horrific images and heard devastating stories come from Maui, the Hawaiian island. Has seen more than 2,000 acres scorched by wildfires. Sadly, more than 100 lives have been lost, and that number is only expected to climb. Numerous organizations have jumped in to help in any way they can, providing support to these decimated communities. One of those organizations is Team Rubicon. This is a group of military veterans, first responders, and volunteers who respond to countless natural disasters every year. Joining me now to discuss the current response in Hawaii is Team Rubicon CEO Art delaCruz. Sir, we appreciate this. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So obviously, we just saw the images and you know them well, the situation on the ground in Hawaii. Can you discuss the role that Team Rubicon is going to be playing in Hawaii?
Yeah, so right now Team Rubicon expects that we'll have an enduring presence there, probably, well over a year. But right now, our local gray shirts are primarily assisting the elected officials, ensuring that the tasks that need to be taken care of to ensure that recovery can happen and the search continues. We're doing things from logistics to traffic management to spontaneous volunteer management, basically anything that our local gray shirts can do without competing for the resources that the survivors need right now is what we're doing. In the meantime, we're planning to be able to respond as necessary, over the months to come.
Can you describe, in terms of the coordination, because as people know, there are numerous government agencies on the ground there and the fire crews there. Can you discuss maybe the logistical challenges and the coordination challenges that exist when you're operating with so many others, too, especially when you have the experienced people that you have to be able to employ the resources and do what they do best?
Yeah, I think part of, one of the big gifts you give as experienced responders is you coordinate. So we're working with all of the organizations to ensure not only what we're doing is adding impact, but we're also not creating, taxes on the system. Trying to compete for lodging or water, things like that, can exacerbate the situation for the people on the ground. Additionally, we want to make sure that as the government officials and as the other groups prioritize the tasks at hand, and right now search is one of the primary tasks, that we're beginning to pick up those other tasks that I mentioned to ensure, again, that things go smoothly in the days and months to come. And it takes a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of agencies, but at times like this, it also takes very deliberate choices in what you do and what you don't do.
I want to remind some of our viewers the background for Team Rubicon really quickly, because we've spoken to your colleague from Canada, Brian Riddell, the CEO here, and we understand that your organization was born effectively out of the earthquake in Haiti in 2010. Can you give us a quick, in terms of the background and what it means for the people who are involved, who literally volunteer their services?
Yeah, so Team Rubicon is a veteran-led humanitarian organization founded, as you said, in 2010 after the terrible Haiti earthquake, when some military veterans saw that their skills, experience, and education could be reapplied in these types of scenarios where maybe there's ambiguity and decision-making is required. They can apply those same skills to help people on their worst day. And we've been doing it since 2010 over 1,300 times. And the people that have come together, both in Canada and the United States, come from all walks of life. Veterans, first responders, law enforcement, civilians with skills and experience that they think can be applied, and we can train them to use in situations such as this, which we're seeing in Maui, flooding in the Northeast, some of the fires that we've seen in places like Nova Scotia. We get volunteers, men and women, who give their time freely to help people on their worst day. And it continues to gain momentum both in Canada and the United States.
Now, we don't have a lot of time, but obviously this is a major logistical challenge, but also a financial one for you. How do you receive the resources that you are requiring to do what you do?
Yeah, well, our greatest resource is people's time. And again, our obligation to them is to give them a safe and impactful experience. But it also takes money to do all of that. And we have donors across Canada and the United States who give resources and money to be able to engage our volunteers, to put them on airplanes, to move them, to give them equipment and training to be able to serve. We're fortunate in particular with Maui that Parsons Extreme Golf, PXG, founded by Bob Parsons and supported by his wife Renee, they've given $1 million to help in this recovery. So, people's outreach and their hearts, drive our mission in allowing our volunteers to be able to serve.
We literally have about 20 or 30 seconds, but it must be very emotional for all the team, especially for those where this is their home, effectively.
Yeah, the reality is, for Team Rubicon, we have 1,100 volunteers on the Hawaiian Islands, and they're the people currently responding because they have the connection to the culture, they know the people, and it's a huge tax on that. So we continue to keep an eye on their well-being. We continue to make sure that they have the resources for their personal, maintenance and their welfare as they move forward and they continue to serve. So it's the utmost important for us to make sure our volunteers are taken care of as well.
We have to leave the conversation there, but we appreciate your work, sir. Art delaCruz with Team Rubicon. Thank you.